All right, so in this video, we're going to cover how to use the frequency array to create the bin width for a histogram that we end up creating. So to do that, it's fairly straightforward, but you have to know what you're doing. It's slightly different than a lot of the other like formulas that you'll use in Excel. So in this case, I type out the upper limit. So for what you want your bin width to be, in this case, we wanted 50. We're going to be doing weight. So we go from 150 to 400. It's because we set the upper limit, you don't say what the lower limit is. So in this case, this would be anything less than 150. The second bin, it would be between 150 and 200, between 200 and 250, and so on up till the end. So to use frequency, it's pretty similar, but again, there's a slight wrinkle when you're working in Excel. So what we want to do is select all of these columns that we want to fill ahead of time. So that's the different part. Now we type equals and then frequency, just like we would do before. And now they want the data array first. So because we're working with weight, we'll select the entire weight column and then a comma to say that we're moving on to the second one, and then the bins array. And so we just select these bins right here, close off with the parentheses. And now the second wrinkle, instead of hitting enter, we hit Control Shift and enter all at the same time. And that will fill in all of those. So here we have the frequency for each of these bins. Now to create the chart, or the histogram, we select both columns that we have right here, go over to Insert, and we'll just make it easy. Select all charts, and then select the clustered column chart, which thankfully is the first one here for this data. We click OK, and that spits it out right here. It has the proper bin width for us, and it has the frequency. And we can change the title, we can label the axes, whatever we want to do if we're doing something like official, like the project versus just a problem set. Now let's say we look at this and we think, okay, this isn't giving us too much information. We have most of the observations in these two columns. What if we wanted to do more? Again, we follow the same basic idea. So type in here upper limit so we know what we're dealing with, and frequency. So now let's say we want to go by 40 instead of 50. Just give us a few more bins. So say 120 first, 160, 200, 240, 280, 320, 360, 400. Yes. Okay, good. That would have been a little embarrassing if I messed up the math there. So now we select the entire column again and do equals frequency. Select our data array, which is still weight column. So we move over to the bins array and we highlight the new bins that we have, close the parentheses and hit Control Shift, enter to fill that out. And here we have the new bins and frequencies. And we can do the same exact thing here. Go to Insert and Chart. After selecting it, choose the clustered column, and it spits out a new one. Oops. Let's move it slightly below so we're not, oops. Yeah, gotta be careful with clicking. That's one of the downsides. Now we can compare, we have more columns here. We see a little bit more of the shape of the skew on the left side of the distribution, and the right side is pretty much the same as before, but gives us a little bit more detail. So that's how we work using the frequency array to create a histogram.